Belgium. The name itself whispers of chocolate. And on a cobbled street, slick with persistent rain, stood Le Chocolatier, the sweetheart, Lily's small, perfect chocolate shop. Outside, the grey sky wept onto ancient stones. Inside, it was another world entirely. An atmosphere thick with the rich, complex aroma of cocoa, warmth emanating from the small kitchen, the gleam of lovingly crafted pralines and ganaches lining the glass counter. Lily, oblivious to the weather, was lost in her craft. This was her sanctuary, her laboratory. Today, a new creation was taking shape, dark chocolate truffles, destined for a touch of bright rebellion. Her small, focused hands moved with practiced grace, rolling velvety ganache, preparing a dusting of cocoa powder. The final touch, the secret whisper she hoped would elevate them. Tiny flecks of vibrant orange zest, painstakingly grated, like miniature jewels carrying the scent of sunshine. The delicate chime of the shop bell was jarring, louder than usual. A man burst in, pulling down the hood of a dark, dripping raincoat, bringing a gust of damp air with him. He shook off the rain like a large dog, looking slightly harried but offering an immediate, disarming smile. "Apologies," he said, his voice warm despite the rush. "The heavens opened. Just needed a moment's refuge, if that's all right." Lily, pulled from her concentration, nodded mutely, gesturing vaguely towards the small seating area. Most people rushed in, bought their favorites, and rushed out. Few lingered, especially not just to escape the rain. He didn't sit, though. Instead, his gaze began to drift, taking in the tempting displays, the careful arrangements. It lingered on the stacks of elegantly wrapped bars, the trays of intricate pralines. And then, it stopped. Fixed. On a small, heart-shaped box sitting slightly apart on the counter, near where Lily worked. It wasn't part of the standard display. It bore a simple, handwritten label. "For those seeking sweet love." A whimsical creation of Lily's, perhaps for a local festival, perhaps just born from a flight of fancy. The man tilted his head slightly, reading the words, a curious expression replacing the harried look. He seemed intrigued, perhaps amused, perhaps something else. Lily watched him watch the box. Saw the way his focus narrowed, the slight shift in his posture. An impulse, soft as the cocoa dusting her fingers, prompted her. She picked up one of the new truffles she just finished, dark, round, dusted, with those tiny jewels of orange zest catching the warm shop light. "Would you?" she offered quietly, holding it out towards him. "It's a new recipe. Still, testing." He tore his gaze from the intriguing box, his eyes meeting hers. He looked at the truffle, then back at her. A moment of hesitation. Then, he reached out. As his fingers approached hers to take the small confection, they brushed. A fleeting contact. Skin against skin. Unexpected. A tiny, almost imperceptible spark in the warm, chocolate-scented air. Nothing dramatic, yet, undeniably there. A shared intake of breath. A momentary pause that stretched longer than it should. He took the truffle carefully, his eyes still holding hers, the earlier easy smile replaced by something deeper, more intense. He didn't eat it immediately. He looked down at the truffle in his palm, then back up at her, his gaze searching. He leaned in slightly, his voice dropping to a near whisper, barely audible above the drumming rain outside. "I think," he murmured, his eyes fixed on hers, the truffle held gently between his fingers, "I've found what I was looking for." Was he talking about the perfect chocolate? A cure for the rainy day blues? Or was he echoing the promise written on the heart-shaped box? The answer hung in the air, thick and sweet as melting chocolate, as the rain continued to fall outside the windows of Le Chocolatier.